Yo, what's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about quadratics. Quadratics, they're kind of complicated at first, but once you get the hang of it, they're going to be easy. So today, as of quadratics, we're going to be specifically talking about when a is equal to 1. A being equal to 1, this tends to be easier when it's not equal to 1 because you don't have to do as much work. So yeah, so I'm gonna do some example problems, and hopefully you guys will learn. So I have x squared plus 8x plus 7 equals 0, and the question says to factor and solve. So how would we do this? So first of all, we want to find what two numbers multiply to give you 7 and add to give you 8. Alright, so one way to do this is to figure out your factors of the C term. So this is your A, this is your B, this is your C. So factors of the C term, and for 7 it's only going to be 1 and 7 because 7 is a prime number. So 1 and 7. So those are going to be your factors because 1 times 7 is 7 and 1 plus 7 is 8. Because 8 is your B term, right? So we can just factor this out. So you do x plus 1, which is your factor here. Then you have another set, x plus 7, which is your other factor. This is equal to 0. So this is right here. This is your factoring right here. So now you want to solve for it, right? So you want to say each equation is equal to 0. So x plus 1 equals 0, and x plus 7 equals 0. And all we have to do is just flip the sign. So this becomes x equals -1, and this becomes x equals -7. So these are your answers right here. This is your answers. This is your factoring. Like I said, it's not that hard, but this is only for a equals 1. Alright, we can do another problem. Alright, so let's see. So we have 2p squared plus 14p plus 24 equals 0. So this one, we have 2 as a coefficient for the a term, right? But we can factor it out so we can have a as 1. So all these terms, they have a common GCF of 2, right? So we can factor out 2. So it becomes 2p squared plus 7p plus 12, right? And that is all equal to 0. So now we have the quadratic that we had in the previous question, but in different numbers right here. Your a term right here is 1, right? So we can easily factor it out as last time. So we can look at your c term, which is 12, and see what are our factors, right? So we have 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4, right? So we have to figure out which one of these adds up to our b term, which is 7. So 1 and 12 is 13, so that's not it. 2 and 6 is 8, that's not it. And 3 and 4, that's 7. So this one has to be it, right? So then we can just put it in our factors. So we have 2p plus 3, which is our first factor over here, and another bracket, p plus 4, which is our other term. So this is our factored form, right here, factored form. And if it's said to solve, and then we just have to solve, set the brackets to 0. So we can do p plus 3 equals 0 and p plus 4 equals 0. And all you have to do is flip the sign, so p becomes -3 and p becomes -4. So these are your answers right here. Hopefully this is making a lot of sense now. Yeah. Okay, we're going to do one more problem. And yeah. So we have 7r squared minus 14r equals -7. So this problem is a little bit different because it's not in standard form. And standard form for a quadratic is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So you have to make this equation into this standard form right here. By doing this, what we can do to make this standard form is to add 7 on to the left side. So it becomes 7r squared minus 14r plus 7 equals 0. We're just adding this negative 7 to this side. Okay, so then there's a common GCF between these terms right here, which is 7. So we have 7 parenthesis r squared minus 2r plus 1, which equals 0. This is not your factor form yet. We still have another. We can still factor it further. So what's your the a term is 1. And now we just find the factor. So this is your c term, and what are the factors of 1? Just 1 itself, right? So you have 7r plus. Actually, hold on. I need to go back a little bit. So since we're trying to find our b term, we can actually use the negative terms here, because -1 plus -1 equals -2, right? So we have to add up. We're trying to add up the factors of c to make sure it adds up to b, right? Hopefully that makes sense. So we would do 7 r minus 1 parenthesis r minus 1, and what is that? Equals 0. So this right here is our factored form. So then if it says to solve, all you have to do is do r minus 1 equals 0. Since there's 2 of them, we just have to do it once because the answer is going to be the same. All you do is flip the sign, so r equals 1. That's your answer here. Yes, so hopefully that made sense, or you understand a little bit more than what you had. And yeah, remember, this is only for when a is equal to 1. When a is not equal to 1, I think there's one more step you have to do. But yeah. So yeah, have a good day.